471 is what India finished with in their first batting effort of this new generation. India's highest test total in England since 2007 and the highest by any team at Headingley in the last 8 years. On ESPN Cricinfo Match Day, we have the company of Sanjay Manjrekar. Thank you, Sanjay, for your time. Big batting effort is what we wanted. 3 centuries at Headingley takes one back immediately to 2002, but so good to have 3 centurions in the same innings from this young new side.
Yeah, that's the key thing, isn't it? Young new side in their first stint in England. So only praise is what you heap on this batting lineup. You know, people would think they could have got to maybe 550, 600, completely shutting England out. But this is more than what you sort of realistically expect. And interesting that there were 300s and then there was a 40. And there were quite a few low scores, couple of ducks as well. So it tells you about guys who get in. If they sort of decide to get a big one, that is possible, but starting off well and the first few runs are going to be sort of hard to get.
It's one of the points raised in our series preview as well, that those who get in really need to go and make it big. The skirmish India will have is that this now becomes the lowest total for a team to have 3 centuries in a test innings. But while we've heaped praise on the 2 centurions on day 1, day 2 and that first session big batting effort was all about Rishabh Pant. 7th test 100, 5th outside India, 3rd in England. There's no stopping him.
Yeah, so when you talk about Rishabh Pant hundreds, when you mention 7, you've got to in the same breath say 790s as well.
Correct.
It's just crazy what he's done at the test level. And I think the world knows about Rishabh Pant now as to how special he is. When he walked off the field, you could see local, English supporters rising and applauding him. So there's something special about him. I was a little concerned, worried. He's a hard man to read, with the long sort of drought of runs or big scores that he had in the IPL plus in the Border Gavaskar Trophy as well. But this was Rishabh Pant, the Pant that we know at his best. And again, the hallmark of that innings were all the kind of audacity that we see. But he respects bowlers that ought to be respected. And he's chose Ben Stokes as the bowler to respect. I know he slapped the second ball that he faced of Stokes for 4, but after that it was just choosing his bowlers to go after. And interesting towards when he came close to his 100, he picked the first ball of virtually every over to hit the boundary, and after that just sort of toned down. And there's a lot of chatter that we hear from the stump mic, which is like brilliant for people like us to understand his mind as to how he thinks.
Yeah, you mentioned the 790s to go with the 700s. Just come 1 run below that and perhaps his best knock yet, the 89 not out. So yes, a man who's used to making the big innings. The fact that he managed this innings and this effort right after what was such a tremendously difficult and disappointing IPL campaign only further reinstates that the red ball, funnily enough, is where Rishabh Pant is most at home.
Yes, and it happened to Virendra Sehwag as well, who seemed like it was tailor-made for white ball cricket, but came and, used to bat down the order, and people would talk about the power that he had and the hitting ability, and eventually became one of world's, great openers and the kind of stuff that he did and runs overseas as well. So maybe something deep down in their DNA that just make them, feel at home in Test cricket. Rishabh Pant, we rave so much about him, and we also put the spotlight on him when he turns up in an IPL game or white ball cricket when he's not really played as many great innings. It's about Test cricket that puts a stamp of something special. It's like the ISI mark of quality, and I guess somewhere Pant knows that this is where you make a name for yourself.
Yeah, his shot making is always audacious. With every new test match effort, his numbers are getting more and more audacious. Already more test hundreds than any other Indian wicketkeeper, and already more test hundreds in England than the likes of Sunil Gavaskar and Virat Kohli. And he's only 44 tests in. But the end part of that innings, 430 for 3, ending in 471. How much could that cost India?
England is a dangerous side. And there's one man that makes that side dangerous. He might leave his legacy behind and might create a culture of that guy. So when Ben Stokes was not having a great day on day 1, he's just thinking, it's a minor game in a long, tennis game of sets, a 5-setter. So day 2, he came in with as if, he's had a great day 1. And the moment there was an opportunity, unfortunately for Karun Nair, it came just before lunch when it was slightly overcast. The ball was just about nice to get the ball, dart around. Ben Stokes was in his rhythm, and that's how he made a comeback through his own performances. And then, when the ball was doing much more, the batting challenge diminished, he just passed the responsibility to the other bowlers. Now you can finish the tail. So that is again, great captaincy. But it's amazing how this pitch changes the moment the sun hides behind the cloud.
Yeah, and that change in bowling meant Josh Tongue, who was none for 75 in 16 overs on day one, managed to finish with 4 for 86. We leave it there, 471. Thank you so much, Sanjay Manjrekar, for your time. Couple of ducks for the debutant Sai Sudarshan, for the returning Karun Nair, but 3 centuries and 471 is what India put on the board.